Hello, and thank you for tuning into the Math Guy. Today we'll be looking at the law of sines. Our first problem reads, find angle B if you are given angle A equals 30, lowercase a equals 5, and lowercase b equals 8. Now, for law of sines, if you have a capital letter, such as a capital A, a capital B, or a capital C, these represent angles. If you have a lowercase a, lowercase b, or lowercase c, these are the sides of the triangle. Okay. Usually a triangle, for any of these non-right triangle problems, they have three angles, like always. You can just label them A, B, and C. Doesn't matter which one is which. But from there, you have to make sure you label the sides correctly. The sides are always opposite the angle. So if right here is angle A, over here is side A. If here's angle B, down here is side B. If here's angle C, there's side C. So we have this triangle set up just like this. We also have the law of sines, which we haven't really put up here on the formula sheet yet. Sine of A over lowercase a equals the sine of B over lowercase b equals the sine of C over lowercase c. For this problem, we have to go through and find angle B. So we have to go through and plug in what we know into the formula. Okay? In this case, this diagram of our triangle, we can plug everything into it. It'll make it look nice, we'll have a nice picture, but we really do not need that for this problem. We can just actually get away with just ignoring that for right now and come back to it later when we need it. If we have everything given to us in letters, like we do in this problem, we can just skip right to the formula. So we just start plugging everything in we know. So we have sine of A. Well, we know capital A equals 30, so we have sine of 30 over lowercase a. Well, it tells us that lowercase a equals 5, so we have the sine of 30 over 5 equals the sine of angle B. Well, we don't know angle B. That's what we wanted to find. Over lowercase b, which we're told is 8. We don't know anything about angle C or side C. Because we don't know anything about either of those, we can just let that go for now and come back to it later if we need it. Okay? But we know everything about A. We know part of everything about B. We're only missing one thing there. Because we have 3 of the 4, we can use a proportion to solve this problem out the rest of the way. So, the way we solve a proportion, we cross multiply. So we do 8 times the sine of 30, so we have 8 sine of 30 equals 5 times sine of B. So we have an algebra problem now to go through and solve. When we do this, we can start simplifying some of this stuff. This is 8 times the sine of 30. So if you take your calculator, you can type in 8 sine of 30. We actually get an answer of 4. In case you don't know, sine of 30 is the same as 1/2. 8 times 1/2 is 4. Over here we have 5 times the sine of capital B. We can't do any multiplication there because we don't know capital B. We can't simplify that sign. Because of that, we need to get the sine of B on one side by itself. So we divide both sides by 5. When we divide the right side by 5, the 5's cancel out. We have 4 over 5 equals the sine of B. So we'll rewrite this over here on the side where we have some more space. 4 over 5 equals the sine of B. When we go through and do this, we need to find out what capital B is. So we simplify this 4 over 5. We turn it into a decimal so we can actually use it. 4 over 5, 4 divided by 5 is the same as 0.8. So we have 0.8 equals the sine of capital B. To find out what capital B is, we have to use what is called the inverse function of sine. So we use sine inverse. Sine inverse, we type in sine inverse of 0.8. This actually gives us the value of capital B. If you do this correctly, you should get sine inverse of 0.8 is the same as 53.13. This is going to be a number of degrees. So capital B equals 53.13 degrees. Our second problem today reads, find lowercase b if you were given that capital A equals 34, lowercase a equals 17, and capital B equals 40. For this problem, we want to do the same thing as last time. We want to fill in what we know into the law of signs, and then simplify it down to find out the missing piece. So we fill everything in that we know. The first thing is we have the sign of capital A. Well, capital A is 34. This is over lowercase a, which is 17, which equals the sign of capital B. This time we know capital B is 40, so the sign of 40 over lowercase b, which we don't know, we'll leave that as lowercase b, equals sign of C, capital C, over lowercase c. Once again, in this problem, we don't know anything about C, so we can just ignore that. We don't need it right now, okay? We could actually erase it if we had to. To do the law of signs, we only need to know 3 of the pieces. And for 3 of those pieces, they have to be related to each other. We need to know 2 pieces of one of the different segments. So if you look right here, we know both pieces of that segment. We know one of the pieces of this segment. We can go through and cross multiply to solve this down for the 4th piece. So, once again, we just cross multiply. So we're going to do b times the sign of 34. So we have b sine of 34, which equals 17 times the sine of 40. Okay, just like last time, we want to do any multiplication we can do. In this case, we're going to do 17 times the sine of 40. Type on your calculator 17 times the sine of 40. We end up with an answer of 10.93. Over here, we also have the sine of 34. We can use this on our calculator too. We can type in the sine of 34. This gives us an answer of 0.56, which is then multiplied by lowercase b. We want to find lowercase b. So because of that, we need to divide both sides by 0.56 to get that negative b by lowercase b by itself. So we divide each side by 0.56. We have b equals 19.52. 19.52 is the measure of lowercase b, which is our final answer. Thank you for tuning in to The Math Guy. Remember to check back again soon for more videos by me, The Math Guy.